En las redes sociales de hoy en día, el contenido de calidad a menudo pasa desapercibido. En Den, a los usuarios se les paga por la creación, evaluación y conservación de los contenidos de calidad. Los creadores de contenido son recompensados según el compromiso y el alcance de su publicación o comentario. Los evaluadores de contenido son recompensados en función de la velocidad y los resultados de sus predicciones. Los propietarios de la comunidad son recompensados en función del compromiso dentro de su comunidad. En Den, el contenido de calidad se paga.
What is up, denizens? Right, we got a DENDAO governance call starting now. It is November 3rd, 2022. We do these every Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern, which is now-ish. And it looks like we have I Am for I Am.
Hello.
Who may or may not be Karl Marx. We don't
May
know
or
yet.
may not be.
Thank you for joining the call. If anybody has anything they want to talk about, there's a link that is in the post in the DENDAO layer for today, or you can. I'll be monitoring like YouTube chat too, so you can throw it in there. Hello, Hyperion Frequency. What's up, everyone? Again, thanks again, you two, for chiming in earlier today on our World Blockchain show. That was a good conversation, I thought. So let's get on with it. Probably short and sweet today. A couple of things to put out, but primarily we have November's proposals up. So we do that every month. If you're new to Den, the way that new layers are created is we have this proposal phase where you can go in and say, hey, I want to make a layer about this topic, or I want to bring this community in to Den. That's really handy if, let's say, for example, you have an existing club or an existing community that maybe a subreddit and you're sick of how that's being run over there and you want to try out something new. Grab some buddies, come on over, propose a layer for your thing, and then it'll make it into the monthly voting contest that we do. And then we vote in every month. We vote in with two different categories. Because people can vote more than once, we have two categories. So we have unique voters, and then we have total ranked votes. And so, yeah, that's the system, and you can read the post about how that works. So do it. If you're going to propose something, I would say check the existing LCP list. Over on the side, you can click on the little circle with a check mark in it. It says LCP, and just look down the list and see if there's something category-wise that already exists that somebody else has proposed, and you can just jump in on that by voting for it. And if and when it wins, might not be this month, maybe it takes a few months, maybe not, maybe it's super popular and it wins right away. But when it wins, if you've got votes in there, that becomes lot, layer ownership tokens, and you get to control and govern your own community. There's DAO functionality right out the box, and it all has a handy-dandy graphical user interface. So no worries about learning how to use some of the more complex Web3 stuff. It should just be, buttons you click on. So that's open. And then also a quick note about Super Happy Dragon Lucky, which is a show that typically happens on Tuesday that is going to happen Friday, so tomorrow, this week. And on that, you can get, there's updates on Den, there's updates on Dragon Chain, which is the blockchain platform that Den is built on top of. And then there's an AMA section. You can put in questions for the CEO and founder of Dragon Chain, and he will answer them. You can put questions about Den or about Dragon Chain in there. And that's weekly. He does it every week, so he's really good about that. Super transparent. As long as you go to the correct venue to field your question, it'll be addressed. So if anybody wants to do that, I encourage you to do so. Let's see. Last week, we talked already about the layers that got created from October. We had, if you remember, we had Bitcoin, we had Minecraft, and we had upcoming crypto projects. So those are all live. Some of them have gotten some initial setup done. I need to go back into Bitcoin and make those tags that we crowdsourced. But I wanted to mention also, I was talking to a couple of friends about the Minecraft layer, and I brought up, it started out like, hey, I wonder if we should do a Minecraft server for the Minecraft layer. And like 3 different people I talked to were like, well, yeah, duh. So the consensus is basically like, why have a Minecraft layer if it doesn't have a server? That doesn't make any sense. So I wanted to reach out and just say, hey, if anybody out there is into Minecraft and they want to help manage a new server, if you know somebody who's into Minecraft, maybe they don't give a shit about cryptocurrency or blockchain or Web3, but they're interested in a Minecraft server where they can own their own sort of like community and manage it with people from the ground up, I will volunteer to provide the hosting for that myself. I host from a home office anyway with like Dragon Chain nodes and Oxen and stuff like that. So I can pretty easily add a Minecraft server to that stack, battery backup, plenty of resources, won't be slow, stuff like that. We just need people that want to do that. So if you know somebody who's into Minecraft, this is something that I'll write up probably this weekend. I've got a lot more time this weekend than I do right now. But I'll write something up in the Minecraft layer, but just something to think about. Who's on board for that? Who wants to help run one? I haven't played in years. I haven't played Minecraft since 2013, probably, right? So it'll be new for me. I'll probably like it because there's a bunch of stuff that's changed. And yeah, so
question on that.
Yeah, sure.
On that layer and setting up a Minecraft server, does that mean that can almost be a pseudo central land or
basically it can. So it's not it depends on how you look at it, but what is a metaverse really? Right. Like that's sometimes a hard question for people to answer, but it would be obviously not integrated natively to where like ideally in Minecraft you could have something in the game that's literally like sourced from the layer, somehow, where there's like some kind of interaction. Maybe you could vote on governance issues from inside the Minecraft server just for funsies. I don't know. So it'll be 2 different things, but the forum would be the official communication forum for the server. So instead of having a Discord, you would have the Minecraft layer is the concept there. But I mean, you've got a chat room, you've got obviously you can post content as regular posts, and then there is governance tools. Like, let's say, like it would be cool to have in-game decisions made with the DAO, right? Just for like fun stuff. Maybe you want to collaborate.
Let's build a pool over here and not over here by the volcano.
Yeah, design stuff. Or maybe you want to destroy something in the game and you vote on, who gets the axe. I don't know. But it gives you a place to communicate outside of just the in-game chat.
Is that kind of how it works on, say, Xbox or something?
On Xbox and stuff, I mean, you've got like, typically people have the game and there's the game chat where you can talk inside the game. But then there's usually like Discord's really popular right now. Used to be different things and it evolves over time. But right now, kind of it's like, Twitch, Discord, and the game kind of get tied together into a thing. Maybe if you want to get really fancy, it can be a Patreon to help like pay for expenses of running the server and stuff like that.
I hope the layer can attract new users to Den.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah. Like that's why I was thinking like, people outside of Den, like if you know somebody who's really into Minecraft, maybe pitch it to them, say, hey, we're going to be starting
slate over here.
Yeah. Which, some people don't want to start over, which I get. I've been playing No Man's Sky for years and I wouldn't want to start over on that. But sometimes it's nice. Minecraft's one of those things that's like, it's so randomized where you can just start digging a hole and find some stuff and build something new. And you can make like working 8-bit computers and stuff just with switches in the game. So there's all kinds of cool stuff you can do in there. So, long-winded pitch for collaborating on a Minecraft server on the DENDAO call, but that's how slim the agenda is today. So we've got open proposal phase. We've got super happy tomorrow. Yes, I was going to say over to you on what you want to talk about.
Oh, I was just going to say the upcoming crypto projects, that new layer that got put in last week or last month that voted in. Is that pre-launch crypto?
Say that again. Upcoming crypto projects. I
Yeah,
think so. I think so.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, either pre-launch or new. I would have to go read the description.
Yeah,
that the proposal had in it, but I'm almost confident that that's what it is. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. Okay. Good question from Hyperion Frequency. Can we change the numbering? So what they're talking about is the way that you win a layer. Right now, it's either the number one by unique voters in the LCP voting contest, or number 5 and 13 by total votes. Now, if you've been around for a while, you'll know that we did that because we used to have 1 and 1, like whichever is the top from each category, but it always ended up being the same one that won both categories, because as soon as everybody saw that a layer was going to start winning in one category, they would just throw their lore into that one because they knew it was going to win, so they could get their ownership tokens, which made it bump up into both, at the top of both categories. So we did a couple of changes where we were like, let's try, 8 and 15. Let's try, 5 and whatever. And short answer is, yeah, we can totally change the numbering. The suggestion is maybe we can do 1, 7, and 21. So 7 and 21 instead of 5 and 13. I like that because it cuts a little bit deeper, which should mean there's a lower max supply of the lot in that layer. It also makes people consider, like, okay, looking down further on the list. Yes. There's like 200 of them or something. I don't know. And a lot of people don't look at the ones that are further down. So they would get people to kind of like dig in and look for it. And that decision is made by DENDAO. So we would, I don't see why not. Yeah, we can. Oh, actually, yes. So if you look in chat, there's a suggestion from Den.Social that says post a suggestion in DENDAO and for a GI. So yeah, go into DENDAO, make a post, say, hey, can we change this to 1, 7, and 21? And then I'm sure one of us will put it up. Anybody who has a DENDAO lot can put that up as a proposal, and once that's done, everybody on Den can vote for it. So everybody who has any amount of interaction on Den gets some governance weight to be able to post on there. So
background.
Yeah, I didn't notice the bad grammar. So,
I didn't notice.
It's all good.
It's a total
way to point out your own mistakes, Den.Social operator person. Yeah, it's a good point about like lower lot amount, because, and I'll make a quick point on that too, because although that's the official way to that's one way to make layers, there's also other options. So you can get, let's say you don't get the number 1 spot by unique voters, but you're number 3, right? You can pay a matter fee to create that layer anyway. So the 2nd through 5th runner-up, or the 1st through 5th runner-up, gets the option to actually make the layer anyway after the voting cycle ends. So if you want to get one of the runners-up to be created, anybody can pay the fee to get that made. And so that cuts down on gets some of the lower lot. What's the word I'm looking for? The supply. The lower max supply. And then there's the other option where anything over 8, so 8 or more unique voters, can get created with a little bit higher fee paid in matter. But you can go all the way down the list. Anything that has at least 8 unique voters is eligible for that creation too. And the cool thing about doing it that way is that it's an LCP layer. It isn't a business layer that you can buy at any time. And what that means is that's a permanent supply. You can never mint any more lot for that. So it's a pretty cool way to kind of like ninja win a low lot supply layer if you wanted to kind of strategize and gamify that a little bit. And then, of course, the other way is to, at any time, it doesn't have to be during the contest, anybody can come in and purchase a layer outright. And that comes with a bunch more flexibility, meaning like with World Blockchain Roundtable, we mint new lot every week, depending on how many views the previous week topic got. So that's, different category there. So those are all the different ways to do it. Let's see here. And it looks like answers are forthcoming in chat, so I don't have to address that. Awesome. Cool. So those are the things. What else is going on that we can talk about that we need to talk about? I am for I am, or Hyperion Frequency, or anybody else?
I have a question of an idea for potential growth. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there as brainstorming. Okay.
Okay, cool.
What if Den created, and it was owned by, shall we say, the DENDAO or whatever, and created a layer called Los Angeles, another one called Chicago, another one New York, Dallas. You follow?
Yeah.
And then as participation happens, there are items related to those cities, and hopefully gaining new users to Den that live in those major metropolitan cities. Then a lot of those cities would be distributed based off activity, postings, reputation within the layer, et cetera, as a way to invite new people to talk about their city that they live in.
Yeah, I like that. I like that because it follows pretty closely to another model that has worked very well, which was the Craigslist model. If you remember,
yes.
That, because there's all different cities that are major cities in different parts of the world. And then there was also chat rooms in each city. They had a chat section too, or a forum or something in there. And naturally, even today, like there's some cities that have never been very used at all on Craigslist that exist. It's just there if anybody wants to see what's up. But yeah, that's a good idea. That's actually pretty cool because then you get potentially like a place where if anybody in your city happens to be checking out Den.Social, that they can come in and say, "Hey, I'm here too."
Now,
Get
just
coffee.
so
I don't know.
I'm saying so let's say that, I don't know, New York was created by DENDAO. I used to live in New York, so I know New York City, and I want to post different things about New York City, and it attracts other people. Yeah, I've been to that restaurant too, and I used to go on 4th and Broadway, blah 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 blah. You follow? So then, just because I'm a member of Den, I'm a Denzian, but I don't live in New York, but I'm creating content within that. Then I would be, again, based off of some kind of numerical value, awarded those lot till eventually the DENDAO has spent all the lot that's assigned to that layer. Do you follow? So
yeah, I do.
No longer have ownership. It would be handed off to the community.
Gotcha.
Because the community would have grown to a certain, mass that would be able to handle itself.
Yeah, you would just need some way of some common rule set to be like, this is the type of content that earns lot, or that kind of thing. Because it's a good idea actually, especially if you start with the major metropolitan areas, so that you have a higher chance of two humans randomly finding their way into that city's layer. I think that reminds me of something else that needs to be done, which is we're getting so many layers now that we should probably, I don't know, there should be a revamp of how you, at least the ability to search for them without Control F kind of thing.
Right. Like you start typing ATL and then Atlanta pops up, and Atlantis and Atlanta. And
yeah, the Atlantis layer, all the Atlanteans that that they find their way in. That's how we find them. That's how we discover the Atlanteans. We just, if you build it, they will come. They just need a place to collaborate, and nobody's thought of that. So,
but then this brings up the next point.
Mm-hmm.
For someone to find someone that, you know, posts something within the layer of New York City about a such and such restaurant,
Mm-hmm.
it almost needs to be found on a Google search
Mm-hmm.
that would
Mm-hmm.
pull people to click on that Google search to
Yep.
say, oh, wow, yeah, look at them. Look at everybody talking about such and such restaurant. Yeah, they got great pretzels there.
Yep. And that is the reason it was so early Den didn't used to be viewable without an account. But that also meant that all of the content was not showing up in search engines because the web crawlers of the internet weren't able to crawl that data and stuff like that. So I know that articles do show up on regular like Google searches and stuff like that, because I've found them sometimes when I'm looking for like plagiarism or something,
Mm-hmm.
right? I'll just do a plagiarism, just quick spot check, that kind of thing, to see if something is being passed off as original when it's not, yada yada. And oftentimes I'll find it on Google, but it'll be Den. It'll be like a reference back to Den. Sometimes it's a photo. Photos work that way if I do reverse image search, but also articles where I'll pull a piece of the text and run it through a search engine, and it'll come back with Den. So SEO based on the content is a thing too. So maybe when writing content, think about that. What are some of the keywords that somebody might be searching for? Whether it's in the title or the body of the post, it'll come up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess if somebody searches for the right words, it'll come up.
Right.
So it is out there.
So like, you know, whatever, I'm, you know, picking on restaurants. So such and such restaurant is comes up frequently as something that was talked about in Den. And then when someone Googles, hey, what's a good place to eat, you know, around me or whatever, it might show that restaurant. And also it might show, oh, so, well, okay, I want to learn more about this restaurant. And then they dig a little deeper into that particular restaurant, and then postings from Den show up. That was the idea I was thinking of, how to bring in new users by hitting these major metropolitan cities as well. And then people posting within those cities of iconic locations or of something that's popular for that particular city that would then again show up in some kind of Google search, drawing more people into Den.
Yeah, it would have to be something.
Why is this restaurant showing up on Den so much?
Yeah, so it's gotten search engines have gotten weird in that they have their own side hustles going on where they will make sure that they direct their own searches to their own side hustle, that kind of thing. So like, it's way more likely, we'll use the restaurant example, and I'm not an SEO expert, but it's way more likely that if you're searching for something specific about a restaurant, let's say you write an article about, now I'm really going to pick on restaurants. You write an article about health code violations or something for a particular restaurant. If someone's looking for health code violations for that specific restaurant, it's much more likely to show up in the Den article, to show up in the search results, than if someone's like restaurants near me. Because that's when like Google is like, oh yeah, here's our Google solution for your question. Go to Google Maps and get the Google reviews and that kind of thing. So you have to remember this.
They're going to keep you. They're going to keep you within their tunnel of vision.
Yeah, that in itself is a marketplace that's that's competitive and that kind of thing. But it's a good idea. That's why unique, original content is so valuable for Den as a platform across all layers. Original, unique, interesting content is really valuable for that reason specifically, because if you have a take that isn't just an opinion that's already been written about, you have a unique angle on something, it's way more likely for that to be stumbled upon from a random internet person who's not even looking for Den. And then if enough people start seeing like, oh, every now and then I see this Den thing comes up with an article about the thing I'm looking for, it gets people to just to look at what is this Den.Social thing. is pretty valuable, that kind of thing.
Right. I'm curious to what would happen if I searched, say, Gainesville, not living in Florida. Oh, I just doxed myself. No. Now I'm in 49. Now you've limited me to 49 different states.
Oh, I've limited you to the states.
So anyway,
there's
what would happen? What's the probability of seeing something in Gainesville that is pertaining to Den? I wonder.
I don't know. I can run an experiment. We do have a Gainesville layer. I think that's the only.
Right.
We have Texas as a layer, and then we have Gainesville as a layer. So we do have two examples of that we could run experiments on. Maybe that's something that Jacob Wayne and myself could collaborate on a little bit. He could write some more stuff about Texas, which he does. I've seen him he does. He's got some cool Texas stuff and a bunch of original work too, because he does a lot of photography and videography in that area. And then I can write some stuff about Gainesville. I probably do have some stuff about Gainesville that I could write that isn't anywhere else on the internet. That could be a good experiment.
Yeah, and then you tell me what to search, because remember, Google has already pinned you down as Gainesville. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You're more frequently to look for Gainesville.
Yeah, I'd have to VPN out to some other nation or something and search for Gainesville stuff and see if it comes up. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question.
Anyway,
it's the right question though. As far as
thought about.
Yeah, as far as getting people to look at it, it's the right question.
But you hit the nail on the head though. It's all about unique content, and when people are looking for specific content that might match up with that unique item, would pop in and pull people into Den.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes two ways. It's quantity and quality and uniqueness. I guess all three.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Anyway, that was my thought. My question.
Yes.
Like I said, just a brainstorming idea that I had this morning.
Yeah, I would say if we, I would venture a guess to say that if we were to run some experiments with Gainesville and Texas to show that is, that shows results, right? That works, then we could once again go into the DENDAO layer and talk about what we did, what we saw. Hey, can DENDAO, open up a bunch of official, maybe even have a section that's like, find your city, because that would almost be like a whole category of layers by itself, right?
Yeah. But keying in on major metropolitan areas first, because that might.
It's a numbers game.
Yeah, it's a numbers game.
Yep. Bring people in the same general sort of area.
The issue is if there's really nobody that lives in, say, I don't know, San Francisco, then no postings are going to happen in that layer, and that's going to be, for a time frame, time being, within Den, it's going to be just kind of empty.
The thinking that I had for Gainesville was that since we have a major university here, if you can crack that local adoption thing, even if it's like, I don't know, even if it's just like a go-to place to look and see what's going on in town this week or something, to where people know to check out Den for relevant city information, then the students who rotate through Gainesville would potentially take that away with them. So I was thinking like, okay, what if there's a reliable weekly list of just shit to do in town this week, to where people can check the list and see what, get information on where it's at, what time it is, how much it cost, a link, a good, like a maps link or something. And then get that, maybe like I could even circulate like a flyer or something, I don't know, with a QR code, just make it to where it's something that people know exists. And then because of the nature of student populations, that's a transient population. Some of them end up loving the town and staying, but most of them come here, they stay here for, a few years or so, and then they move out and they go somewhere else in the world. It would be super dandy handy if they would like take Den with them,
Yes.
That was kind of our strategy. I'm actually wearing the shirt. This band here, Loco Chino, that was one of our strategies of like if you can get in with a student population, then you got a fan base that goes out, and then you know where to go tour to because you got at least 1 or 2 people there that can act as your street team, kind of thing.
Sure.
There's probably a lot of overlap there between those strategies.
Yeah. Yep.
So yeah, good idea. Good idea. Let's talk about it more on next Wednesday on the coffee show, because if you'll be here, because on that one, I take plenty of time to talk about whatever we want, so we can dissect that a little bit and dig into it. Cool. So that's what I got. Make sure you're checking the governance tab if you have any lot to any layer that has a governance issue up. It'll show up under that tab. What else? Oh, Hyperion frequency. Since you're here, I'm working on verifying. You had a question about lore yields, right? So I'm going to double check all the numbers and stuff again. Some of the percentages get weird because, for example, if you look in the DEN layer, you'll see a daily snapshot that comes out of how much lore that was mined for each category. Like, if you don't know, whenever you earn matter on DEN, that matter is automatically staked to earn lore. And then that lore that you earn is also staked to earn more lore. So you can lore while you lore. And you also get it for like other stuff too, for the lot that you hold. And that's the interesting one because, one lot is not the same as another lot. The, I don't know, the Texas layer lot is not the same as the beer layer lot. You know what I mean? And so what we do is we measure the emissions from that for different things. So you can say like, okay, this lot yields this much matter. And so you get lore based on that, all kinds of different things. So just a quick note that I haven't forgot about your question, sir. And I will look into it and get back to you there on that. All right. So let's see. Otherwise, yeah, looking into it. And that, yeah, that's it. Anything else? Looks like I am had to take a call. Cool. Let me run through the quick reminders. Tomorrow we got Super Happy Dragon Lucky. Throw your AMA questions in there. World Blockchain Roundtable is today, but a couple of hours ago. So that's every Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern. And next week, I believe, is going to be, the development time, like the time it takes to develop quality software products is what we'll be talking about next week. And then Coffee with Den is on Wednesdays. That's in the Coffee with Den layer and on Odyssey now as well. And then, of course, this DENDAO call, where sometimes we have more to talk about than others. And that's it. I'll see everybody next week. Have a good weekend. And catch me on Den. Feel free to drop by the coffee layer and post about something that would be like a coffee time conversation. Maybe we can compete with the random layer a little bit. Get some coffee talk over there. All right. Bye, everyone. See you next week. Cheers.
Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best. Adaptable, all capital, label radical yet rational. Adaptable approach is palpable if this animal is fallible. But that conclusion is laughable, so with for all detachable from the mandible, you see it now.